Good afternoon, everyone. As you can see, I'm not Dr. Evelyn Underwood or Bishop Underwood. I'm Renee Angelah, and I'm filling in today for Dr. Underwood and Bishop Underwood as they have fallen a little ill, was in a car accident. So we're going to give them healing energies and light and love and prayers for a speedy recovery and just lifting them up as always. This is my special guest, my co-host, my daughter. Tell them your name.
Alexandria.
Yes, and so we're going to be doing On the Rock today. Going to be doing things a little bit differently because I know normally you all are really and I will lose my words, but that's okay. Normally, you're used to Bishop over here singing and Dr. Underwood over here reading the scripture. And since I can neither sing or quote scripture off the top of my head, I'm just going to talk a little bit about inspiration. And inspiration comes from the word in spirit, and spirit is Greek for breath. And so when I think of inspiration or being in spirit, I believe in breathing in and out the breath of the Spirit, the everlasting God of all. So, inspiration comes to us in many, many different ways. Some of them come into us in a creative way, as far as like painting or writing or producing music. Others, inspirations come to us in ways just a thought, to be friendly or a thought to smile. That's inspiration as well. Inspiration can come from nature. I am inspired by nature all the time. The birds, the trees, the animals, the bugs, and just watching how they interact in our world, even with all of the industrialization that humans have done through the past 5,000 years. Inspiration comes in many different forms, and I'm inspired all the time. Sometimes I'm even inspired when I hear the rain fall or when I see the snow fall or even in the fall leaves, and that's going to be coming up soon, so we get to see those great autumn leaves and those beautiful colors of reds and golds and greens intermixing. And that's to me being in spirit. In spirit also means to me being present in this moment at this time, because a lot of times we are so busy worried about the past or worried about the future, we cannot enjoy this moment. And that is what inspiration and presence is about, enjoying the moment right now, because all we really have is right now. The past is already gone, to never be able to return again, and the future has not come. And the future is based on your present moment, your present thoughts, your present feelings right now. So if you stay in that spirit, and especially the spirit of the Holy Ghost, the spirit of the God of all things in this universe, just even thinking about our abundant and growing universe. Scientists say that our universe is actually expanding. So when I think of our universe always expanding, that inspires me to think that God is always expanding inside of me and outside into the world. So that's inspiration in my definition. What's your definition of inspiration, Alex?
Um, I think that when um, when when you see something like that makes you want have an idea, like let's see, like if you read a book and um, and you see something in the book that you think that that you get an idea about, and then I could make a book out of that idea. It could be a little different or it could be the same.
And you do that with your writing, don't you? Sometimes you take from other stories that inspire you, and that helps you create a book, doesn't it? What does inspire you? What's your inspiration? What are some of your inspiring people or movies that inspire you, or television shows that inspire you?
Oh, uh, I think it's usually the older movies that inspire me, like from the 80s or before.
From the 80s or before? Name one movie
Or
that
no, 90s or before.
90s or before. Name a movie that inspires you.
Like Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse, yeah, Mickey Mouse inspires a lot of people because it was through the inspiration of creating Mickey Mouse that Walt Disney said, okay, I want to create the happiest place on earth, because he was creating Mickey Mouse to make people happy, and then he wanted to expand, and that's when he created Disneyland, and then of course now Disney World, so the happiest place where dreams come to settle. And so
Yeah, there's a Disneyland in California.
yeah, there's Disneyland in California. That was the first creation of, or theme park creation of Walt Disney, and then they expanded to Disney World. So sometimes people forget about Disneyland in California, but that really was the first, not Disney World in Florida. What other, I know that sometimes, like, you watch a lot of older movies, like classic movies, and you have a couple actresses that I feel like inspire you, such as Margaret O'Brien or Shirley Temple. Are those inspirations for you? Are they inspirations for you, or are they just people that you like?
I guess these classic movies are kind of inspirations for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too. I know for myself, as far as inspiration, when I was really, really into fashion designing when I was a kid, like 10, 11 years old, one of the things that was really inspirational for me was watching Paris fashion shows. So I liked a lot of haute couture, and haute couture means high fashion in French. And so watching all of those amazing designers, and I call them artists, because they really truly are. Yves Saint Laurent, Givenchy, Oscar de la Renta, Chanel. Those are some of my greatest inspirations when it comes to fashion designing. When it came for me to write books, I've been inspired by the Hallmark Channel because I love the movies on the Hallmark Channel. Lots of romance novels, but not only that, people inspired me as I write too, because I like to look at the lives of people. I like to look at the world as it's in motion. And so people inspire me as well, just everyday people. It doesn't always have to be actors and actresses or major book writers. I mean, there are book writers out there that I really, really enjoy, but really, the everyday person inspires me, because you can always find something good if you're looking for it and if you're trying to seek that out. And that's so important, is to look for the good things out there in the world. And one of the good things that I feel like in the world that you bring to this world called Earth is really writing. You are an amazing writer. So let's talk about your writing and your career as a writer. We just cannot keep this microphone on. We're going to keep this microphone on. There we go. It's going to stay on this time. I told you guys, you never know what I'm going to say. And I say that all the time on my radio show too. You never know what I'm going to say. Anyway, but getting back to at hand is, let's kind of talk about your career as a writer. When did you first start writing?
Oh, I started writing in my journals when I was like 6 years old.
And what were some of the things that you kind of wrote about in your journals? Do you remember?
Well, I remember when I got out of kindergarten, my teacher gave me a little book that I would just write random words in or something, or I could write stories about my life or, yes, or other
So,
stories.
so you started off with journal writing, and it just also brought back to me that is another inspiration as well as teachers can inspire as well. I remember my fifth grade teacher giving me the first book that I've ever had about an African American, and that book was Harriet Tubman. And I carried that book, I think, all the way through high school because it was just such an inspiration for me to read the story of an African American. And at that time, in our history books in school, you really didn't talk much about African Americans. They talked a little bit about slavery, and then it was like, okay, it was slavery, and then the civil rights movement, and Martin Luther King had a dream, and he led a march, and that was the civil rights movement. And so once I read the book Harriet Tubman, it inspired me to learn more about the heritage of Africans in America or African Americans. And so that led me to a lot of different just avenues, and not only just the avenues in America. Then I became very, very inspired to look up Egyptology and Egyptian history and African history. And then I went over to the Muslim world, and I looked up a lot of stuff about Islam and Iran and Iraq and Kuwait and all of that. So I became inspired just from one person, one teacher giving me a book. So I see where you were saying how that kind of inspired you to write, because then you were able to journal your thoughts, your feelings, and how your day was going. And so that was at 6 years old. And then you created a book series at 6. So tell us a little bit about the book series.
It's called The Lost Things, and it's about a family trying to find items that they lost, such as a clinics or a shopping list. I wrote that so long ago.
I know, and I remember you writing that, and I remember we were, I think, in the health department, the public health department.
Yeah, we were in the doctor, and you gave me a journal to write in.
Yeah, I gave you some slips of paper, and then all of a sudden, there it was. You had created this awesome story, The Lost Tissue, and here's this little girl going around finding the lost tissue, and then you had the shopping list, and you just kept on going with the series, and I just thought that was so amazing. And I will tell you, Alex, that you inspired me to start writing, because when I saw you express yourself in that creative mode, I knew I had a story inside of me too, and so that's what made me kind of start wanting to write and get right. So you're inspiration to me. See how inspiration comes. So you wrote it at 6, and then at 9 you started writing something else.
The Natila series.
And what inspired you from the Natila series? How did the Natila series come about?
I think it's because I saw a girl at my school. She was wearing high heel shoes. She was like in 2nd grade, and she was wearing the high heel shoes at recess. She was talking about them.
Yeah, so that was an inspiration for you to create the Natila series. Mm-hmm. And what was the first book of your series?
Natila and the Crocodile.
And tell the viewers a little bit about Natila and the Crocodile.
It's about Natila wanting a crocodile, and she runs away to California, I think, and then she finds a crocodile that she decides to become friends with, and he speaks Spanish. All
right, so at 9 years old, you have created this Spanish-speaking crocodile story about a little girl wearing high heel shoes, inspired by someone that you met in school. Mm-hmm. How cool is that? And how many books now do you have in the Natila series?
I have 15, I think.
You have 15 books. Oh my gosh. Let's name them off. Let's count them and name them.
Yeah. Natila and the Crocodile, Natila's Field Trip, Natila Goes to School, Natila Rules, Natila's Halloween, Natila's Thanksgiving, Natila's Christmas, Natila's Valentine, Natila and the Goose, Natila's Worst Day Ever, I think.
Yep.
That comes after that.
Mm-hmm.
Natila's Easter, Rose's Mother's Day, Natila visits with her grandparents, Natila's 4th of July, and Mr. Eason's new student.
And Mr. Eason's new student. So 15 books that you have written from 9 years old until, how old are you now?
17.
17. So in 8 years, you have written 15 books and illustrated them of the Natila series.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, wow. That is cool. Do you have any other stories that you've written?
Oh, well, right now, yes, I did. I wrote in Tanya in This Hill.
Tanya in This Hill, and we actually have a copy of Tanya in This Hill. Why don't you tell the viewers a little bit about Tanya in This Hill? So this is your first chapter book, and I'll let you tell about the book.
It's about a 4th grade girl who befriends a boy that she saw while hiking, and they fall down the mountain into this place called This Hill, and it's for vampires and killer toys and zombies and all that.
Ooh, it sounds a little scary. Is it a little scary? Let's see. I have a passage I want to read from Tanya in This Hill. This is from the chapter Exchanging Ideals. It says, Tanya screamed and dashed away all of a sudden. The vampire followed her. He panted as he chased after Tanya. She hid behind a building as the vampire looked under a rock. You will never see the last of me, said the vampire in a low, evil voice. Tanya looked from behind, then ran off to a path where there were a grove of trees beside it. She heard some creaking noises. This place is scary. I never would have thought this place had something weird, said Tanya. So that's an excerpt from Tanya in This Hill. And you came out with this book when?
2015, last year.
So you came out with this book in 2015, last year. It was your first chapter book. And that's not all you've come up with. So what other books have you come up with?
Autistic Kidpreneur.
We've got the...
I see it.
Yes, it's because she sees it. The Autistic Kidpreneur, Interactive Guide to Starting Your Own Business. Talk a little bit about the Autistic Kidpreneur book that you've written as well.
It talks about confidence and inspiration, and so it gives you exercises to fill in about what inspires you, and it's also a very simple guide on how to start your own business as well. So yes, it has really, really good advice about not to give up and to keep going, producing doing what you like doing, and it asks you what you like doing or something.
That sounds really interesting. And since we were talking about inspiration, the very first chapter is actually inspiration. Chapter 1 is all it takes is inspiration. And so here's an excerpt from the Autistic Kidpreneur book. Inspiration comes from thoughts and ideals related to what you want to be, which causes you to want to act upon those dreams. You can be inspired from anything in the world, from people you meet, movies you watch, or books you read. You can even get inspired from a dream. Have you ever had dreams that you were inspired from to write about?
Yeah.
Like what?
Well, I am writing a novel called something like Loma's Mastermind, and it was inspired from a dream I had about me and my friend Anthony. We were in some place that looks like the 1800s, which got me writing which got me setting this book in the 1800s, of course, and I was zipping around.
Wow. So that's kind of cool that you get inspiration from dreams. I too get inspiration from dreams. When I used to design clothes, I would dream about the clothes first, and then I would design them and make them. So yes, you can also be inspired from dreams. And speaking of inspiration, and I want to make sure that I get this out. I want to give a shout out to two of my friends in Canada who inspire me as well, Jacqueline Gouchard and Joanne. And I love you, love you, love you both, ladies. Joanne is getting married tomorrow, so so I just wanted to give them a shout out. But I also wanted to talk about, because you have a book that you've also just written, that where autism was the inspiration, and autism is something that is very, very dear to our hearts, because Alexandria was diagnosed with autism in 2003. She was diagnosed with autism, and so we are very. It's close to us, autism awareness, and so you wrote a book just recently that we sent off to Temple Grandin, who is, we would in the autism community would call her a spokesperson for autism. There's actually a movie about Temple Grandin, but she created a lot of vices to help cows and other animals be able to be very calm, basically when they go off the slaughter. So you wrote a book. So tell the people about the book that we just sent to Dr. Temple Grandin.
Oh, it's about a young black girl, and she has autism, and she loves to paint. So her mother wants to help her daughter become a successful painter in life. And so she helps her, she tries to help her get inspiration from painters in museum, even in the museum, even though her daughter is having a bit of trouble paying attention. But the mother sends her daughter to an art class where she throws a tantrum because she wanted to paint something of her own, but the teacher wanted her to paint exactly what she needed to paint.
And that's some of the times with autism, as we talk about autism, one of the things is sensory deficits, and sensory deficits can come in all kinds of different avenues. Sensory deficits could come. Some kids with autism have a hard time with loud noises or loud sounds. Some can have a hard time with a lot of people being around, which is sometimes that makes you kind of anxious as well. You have some of those problems with the anxiety when there's a lot of people around and everybody's going and moving and being loud. And then sometimes it's just a lack of understanding, so a processing issue. One of the things about autism is we don't consider it a disability, it's a different ability. And we say don't diss the ability, because there are some things that people blossom at. And one of the good things that Dr. Temple Grandin did was she was able to blossom at making animals feel secure as well as herself. And I wanted to talk about a little bit about the autism conference that's coming up in October 25th from 7:30 to 4 at the I Hotel. It's sponsored by the CU Autism Network. The CU Autism Network does a lot in the Champaign-Urbana community as far as giving out resources, not so much as financial resources, but a lot of resources in the areas of support, social stories. They have books you can check out. They have the Autism Walk every year, and they provide a lot of resources. So we are honored as people of the CU Autism Network that Dr. Temple Grandin will actually be here October 25th at the I Hotel. And you can go to the CU Autism Network website to look up more information about that particular conference. But Alex is going to be kind of one of the guest vendors of the conference, and so we're really, really excited about that, aren't you, Alex? You excited about going to the conference?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So Dr. Temple Grandin's going to be the keynote speaker. Her mom is going to be speaking via Skype. For those of you in the autism community that know Dr. Morton, he's going to be there talking about sleep. And then there's going to be some other people as well throughout the conference that are going to be speaking and just providing information for those of you out there who know someone who has autism, you have autism yourself, or you just have someone who's just been recently diagnosed. This would be a great start, and we're just honored to have Dr. Temple Grandin in Champaign, Illinois. And I'm honored that we were asked to attend this conference and work with Dr. Grandin as well with your new book, The Unique Artist, as well as
The Unique Artist's Talent.
Oh, Unique Artist's Talent. I stand corrected. So this is just so wonderful that this is what autism looks like, you guys. And it comes in many different packages. We all come in many different packages and many different arrays. And we're all beautiful. We're all talented. One of my core beliefs is that everyone in the world has a talent, a gift inside of them that's been God-given. With Alex, it just happens to be writing. With me, I have no idea, but probably speaking. Although you may not be able to tell very well. But I do believe that everyone has a gift, and everyone who is brought to earth has a gift to share with the world. And to me, it's about remembering your gift and being able to share that into the world. And whatever inspires you, I say go for it, because when you are working from inspiration like Alex, my gosh, the skies are the limit. You are actually just going from the spirit inside of you, that breath inside of you that was first given to Adam and transcended to all the descendants of Adam and Eve, which we are daughters and sons of Adam and Eve. So the spirit is within us, the kingdom of heaven is within, and as it is above, so shall it be below. So that is where we are at as far as inspiration. Why don't we give everyone your website address if anyone wants to look at Alex's work and her continued works. Your website address is
alexsjames.com.
alexsjames.com. And so you can go there and see all the books she's written. And she also blogs as well, so you can read her blogs and look for her around town. And we are so very thankful to the community for its support and its wonder and its joy and its life. And we just want to keep it going, being inspired, inspiring others. That is the key to the whole of oneness, because we are all one, we are all together, we are all love. And yeah, I think you have anything else to add?
I think that everybody needs to be treated fairly.
And everyone needs to be treated fairly. That's right. So, as always, I'm sending out blessings of peace, love, and bliss. Until next time, I am thankful to be able to fill in. And I know I didn't do as good of a job as Dr. Underwood and Bishop did, but hey, I can only do me, and they only do them. Peace and love.